My name is Mark Sanchez,
Okay.
and I'm having like both hip pain.
Okay.
It's really tight, especially when I run.
Okay.
More specifically, my right, but running, squatting, and maybe after that, walking upstairs gets kind of tight. So.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna kind of do some stretching techniques, basically. All right. Now this type of technique, you have to have somebody to help you do it. Okay. So when you go home, unless you can have someone do this for you, it might be a little more difficult. But we're gonna do a little pre-test first. So we'll kind of look at, okay, where's this tightness in here coming from? Is it more of your rectus fem? Is it more of your iliopsoas? Or where is that coming from? Okay. So we know, and you guys are PSU, so this will be kind of cool. Iliopsoas, what is it? What's its main function?
So, I'm guessing hip
Flexion.
Cool, great. All right, and then what about the rectus fem?
extension.
Okay. No. Think about it again. It's okay if you don't.
What were the rotations?
So rectus fem, right, is still a hip flexor, right? It still flexes your hip. What about? Oh, there you go. You're doing motion.
Or knee extension.
And knee extension, right? So it does knee extension and hip flexion.
Gotcha.
Okay. So when we'll put you on the table, we'll be able to kind of assess. All right. Well, is it more of an iliopsoas, like just really straight hip flexor? We're getting some tightness in that rectus fem too. Okay. So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna show you the motion first, and then I'll show you. Okay. So go ahead and stand up. So we're gonna test. We'll really focus on this right one. Okay. So you're gonna come to the edge of the table. This is just assessing, and then you're gonna grab your left leg, and then just kind of bring this knee. And I want you just to kind of let this leg hang.
Okay.
And whatever it does, it does. Don't try to force anything, and then we'll kind of talk about it, and then we'll go through the kind of stretching techniques.
All right.
All right. So come right down to the edge. Good. All right. Is this leg totally relaxed?
It is relaxed.
There we go. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. So what do we really see here, right? So his knee is about 90 degrees. Sorry to get my hands really cold. So in this position, well, it looks like his rectus fem is pretty good because he's got more knee flexion. However, his leg is elevated off the table, so he's having more hip flexor, like that iliopsoas. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So can we zoom in on this really quick just for 1 second? And then we're gonna do after we do the techniques, we'll kind of recheck this. So again, rectus fem looks okay. We might work on it just a little bit though, but really this iliopsoas up here is pretty tight. All right, go ahead and come on up. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll do two techniques. First, we're gonna do it prone on your tummy, and then we're gonna go back to this position, okay, and we'll work on that's a little bit more aggressive, kind of more.
Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna go face down on your tummy. All right, and what I'm gonna do here, right, I'm gonna work mostly on his iliopsoas. So I'm gonna bend his leg, okay, and I'm gonna, sorry, my hands are really cold. It's really bad.
You're fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put him in a little bit of hip extension, okay, and I'm gonna focus on his hip so he doesn't get that lumbar lordosis. All right, so I'm gonna come in here. Now here, I don't really want you to kick out, right? Because if I wanted you to kick out, you'd work on your rectus fem. But I want you to actually kind of activate and push your hip into the table, okay?
Okay.
You can also do this depending on, now this is a kind of a little funky for me with my arm. So I'm gonna try to put my knee under you. If it becomes uncomfortable, let me know that, okay?
Sure.
But this might just be a little more easier for me and my body mechanics. All right, so I'm stabilizing here. And what I want you to do, again, without kicking out, you're just gonna kind of activate your glute and push down into the table. Good, and hold. And relax. And I'm gonna go a little bit further into that stretch. You feel that?
I do.
Okay. Do you have pain when you push down? Do you feel it a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit tight.
Okay. And that's okay. So if you do activate that muscle, you might feel some strain in it. And so we're kind of putting the muscle on stretch right now, and then as soon as you activate it, when you relax, we'll go a little bit further to the stretch to elongate those muscles. Go ahead and push down. Good, and relax. So really, we only want about 20 degrees of activation, or 20%, sorry,
Okay.
20% of activation, which is great. I feel like you're doing great, so. And go ahead and push down. There you go. And relax. So as you can see in the video, right, we're getting more hip extension. And go ahead and one more time. And relax. Good. So now here, we're still gonna work on that rec fem a little bit. So as I bend in his knee, about right here I feel like is when you're really trying to like roll over a little bit. So now here, you're gonna lightly just kick out against my arm. Yeah. And relax. Go a little bit further in that stretch. And again. And relax. Do you feel this one as much?
Not too bad.
Okay. Which again I wouldn't expect because your rec fem actually looked pretty good. Go ahead. Push out. And relax. And one more. And relax. Good. Go ahead and flip over on your back. Come down to the edge of the table. All right, so we're gonna do that one same stretch thing. Go ahead and go back. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is again, we're gonna be working, I'm gonna slide you down a little bit. Yeah, perfect. So here, don't worry about the kick out right now. You okay there?
Good.
All right, so go ahead and you're gonna flex that knee, so push up against me, good, about 20%, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax, we're gonna go a little bit further. Good. And go ahead and put. And relax. You're getting toward that end range, so it probably feels a little weaker, right? Good. Relax. And go ahead and push up. And relax. Good. So then here, let's work on that rec fem just for a second. So now here, you're gonna go ahead and kick out against me. And relax. Kick out. And relax. Kick out. And relax. Alright. Go ahead and settle up. Good. I'm gonna do 2 squats really quick just to kind of get some movement. And then we're gonna recheck that test again, okay? Good. Just kind of loosen up. How's it feel with that?
Feels good.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and now let's do that retest. So, yep, bring that knee to your chest. Come down a little bit though. Come down to the very edge. There you go. Good. Good. So as you can see, if we were to zoom in, right, before, he was kind of more like right here, but now, got that hip flexor kind of elongate a little bit. Does that make sense? How does that feel? Do you feel like you got more motion there?
Yeah, it feels like it's more down.
It's a little bit more down on the table. Before it was like
very tight,
kind of like up here. Okay. So for you, go ahead and sit on up. So for you, right, the rec fem really maybe isn't more of the problem. Just loosen up that hip flexor.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially that kind of iliopsoas. So especially when you go into that squat, you're gonna get that pinching. Okay. So this might benefit you, like before you do your squats and things like that. Do kind of like an active warm up, and then you can, what you could do to kind of replicate, but again, it won't be necessarily like a manual therapy, but you can always use like a foam roller. So you know how when you were laying on your tummy and I flipped, you were laying down and I put my knee underneath you? Put a foam roll underneath and then push into the foam roll.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like my leg, but you can use the foam roller. and pushing down. And you'll probably get a strain in there, and then you can always use like a rope
Right.
to bend and get that hip flexor. Another one that I like to do too is even just like literally, you're here, all right? Big thing for you, right? I don't really care about getting this knee off the ground, okay? But if you're here, make sure you're not in that anterior tilt. You want to get in that posterior tilt, and then kind of lean forward
Okay.
and stretch more in here. Now again with this, don't bend because then you activate the hip, okay? So again, you're here, you're kind of like trying to push your hip forward,
All right.
okay?
Sounds good.
All right, cool.